going? I'm going. Hey, check it out. All right, so I am speaking to
Mike Sharadin.
Mike Sharadin.
Mike Sharadin, Northwest Totem Cellars.
Northwest Totem Cellars. And this is Ben Straley reporting for Winefoot.com with Dwayne Pemberton waiting in the wings. So tell me a little bit about what you're pouring today.
So we're pouring our Cabernet and our Syrah. These are recently released, and in 2 weeks, in the last 5 weeks, the 2006 Merlot and our Bordeaux blend Low Man Red, as well as our late harvest Viognier, which has been a reputed bestseller and a Cellars. Well, thank you, sir. It's not overly sweet. It's Riesling Viognier blend is the Cellars. That's what Dwayne is doing right now. Good acidity, keeps it light on the palate.
What are your thoughts of the 2010 vintage?
2010. So 2010 vintage was a little bit challenging at picking time, but the grapes that came off early, normally like Merlot and Cab Franc, came off later, but still within the window that they got ripe. And even exceedingly, they got ripe across not only the tannins, the flavors were there. We didn't have to get high sugars. So it was almost a European style vintage.
So higher acidity.
Higher acidity. It's going to be great food wines across. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to translate to wines in the bottle in 2 years.
So this is your, how many years have you been in Washington?
5 years now, commercially. And so we've just done our 6th crush. And everyone's obviously a new one, but for a young winemaker who doesn't have backgrounds in 15 years, these are all very new experiences. So we count heavily on other trade people, on our consultant. My consultant is Cheryl Jones, and fabulous repertoire of other wineries involvement. But it's also really important to have growers who know what they're doing with the grapes when they get in that circumstance. How much fruit to carry so that they do get ripe, how to prune the vineyard so that they don't have too much or too little acidity. And we're blessed with Chandler Reach Vineyard, Sagemore Vineyard, and Ellarding Vineyard, who are fabulous growers and have 30, 25 years of experience with their vineyard managers. I'll never be able to get that level of experience just because I don't have that much time left on the planet. But it does help to have that kind of background when you're dealing with climatic severity like we saw last fall.
If you had to pick an up-and-coming Washington varietal that you're most excited about, what would that be?
Cabernet Franc.
Cabernet Franc.
Cabernet Franc has the ability, I think, with Grenache on the Rhone side, to express flavors without being hugely influenced by tannins. They can produce, like Pinot produces flavors. And I'm looking forward to the Cab Franc in Washington State and Grenache in Washington State to do just that.
Well, here's the million-dollar question, because this is what's on my mind here, is, and this has been going around for a while, but I'd like to get your opinion on it, is, you know, California is obviously known for Cab, and Oregon is starting to get known for Pinot. Do you think Washington's having a tough time finding its identity as far as a certain grape, or do you think its diversity is part of Washington's personality?
I think it is, and to the extent that winemakers are just now getting grapes that are 20 years old. I mean, think of, you don't even get near a wine's top quality until the vineyards are 25, 30, 35 years old. We're just arriving there and yet competing on a world stage. What is going to be really exciting is to get young winemakers willing to take chances and do blends with grapes that never saw blends. Our Syrah has 6% Petit Verdot. You wouldn't do that in France. Not that it's bad or good. It's just different. And to have an Albarino pop up from a winery, or to have a Sangiovese that might see a grape never experienced produced in Italy. Those are things that are going to come out of Washington State that will be new and exciting in the next 10 years.
Well, you bring up a good point, because even though the old world is classic, it's also standardized. So we don't have any standard by which to hold ourselves to. So the sky's the limit.
No rules. No rules, baby. That's the fun part. And the wines that fail will be eliminated, and the wines that succeed will be touted. But ultimately, consumers decide, not winemakers.
Well, do you think that there's a certain varietal that really expresses Washington's personality?
If Sideways had never occurred, we'd still be drinking twice as much Merlot as we used to. And I think the thing about Merlot in Washington State is the boldness that it can express and still retain varietal characteristics. And Sideways certainly created a different environment to review Pinot. Pinot's a wonderful grape. It unfortunately came at the cost of Merlot in that scene that so many of us seen way too many times.
And it cracked me up, but still, you know.
Yeah.
What do you think of the potential for Grenache from Washington State?
Well, one of the things I like about Grenache is it handles so many different terroirs and becomes different. It also accepts different grapes at the same time. Mourvedre in a Grenache is very different than Tempranillo in a Grenache.
Right.
And so to the extent that we're having wonderful expressions of both of those in the same state, we do a Syrah Tempranillo Grenache. And again, these blends come up and allow Grenache to be potentially the base or the accent of a given varietal. So I'm excited about Grenache.
So you're talking more of those, because I'm excited about, because what you're talking about is almost like a Southern Rhone kind of a feel, and those are the ones that are coming out of the Columbian Valley that do those Southern Rhone blends. Those are some of my favorite wines that are coming out right now.
Well, if you drive through Southern Rhone and take pictures and then go look at parts of Yakima Valley, you're pretty darn close in a topography shot if you're not looking at cactus. But it has that dry, arid, rolling hill sense, and I think you're going to see winemakers and vineyard managers find the spots that these varietals and clones do well, and if we can keep the sub-zero temperatures off the grapes when they're young, I think we're going to see some outstanding changes in how these wines are expressed throughout the state.
Well, and that's what's so cool about maybe keeping them close to the water, because Dwayne and I were just talking a couple days ago about the new Chelan district too, because I have a friend of the family who just made a Pinot on the northern end of the Chelan lake, and because of the climate control of the lake, it, like you said, the sky's the limit. You can even grow a Pinot there, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the more talent and more experience that talent gets, the better we'll get at choosing these sites.
Yeah, we're still a very young state.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep, appreciate
Bye,
it.
Mom.